Tonight's guest captures jets from Florida's Gulf Coast to England, from birds of a feather to jets in the wild and everything in between. Let's welcome Heather Fields. You can find her on Instagram at Underwater Photography Navarre.
And there she is.
How are
My
you?
intro, man, I'm doing good. Welcome.
One of
Welcome
those
to our
days.
show. Yeah, it's one of those days. Happy National Aviation Day.
Yes, it's a great day to be here.
And you're on an aviation podcast. And so it's excellent. I don't have my Spotters podcast today. It looks like Normat on my angle, but it's Tamron. I'm not sure how it looks like on yours.
Normat.
That's the Normat. Oh my God. Right. Let's rotate this. There you go. Now look like I'm playing baseball or something. So we're gonna jump right into it. You've been pretty much I met you at Miami, the Honda Air and Sea show. You were doing
Yeah.
media for that show. You did, I guess, the practice for the Pensacola Beach Air Show. And then you weren't going to stay for the show. You decided I'm going to go to England and capture the mock loop and Riyadh and all these other places that you went to. How did you even decide to? Did you plan that beforehand, or did you say, you know what, I have an opportunity to do this now? Let me go ahead and take that.
Some of it was planned. Riyadh was planned starting last year. I actually bought that ticket
Wow.
in August of last year. And it all grew from there and decided, hey, if I'm going to be that close, I probably should go to Makloop while I'm there because when am I going to have another chance? And
Yeah.
then Lake and Heath came about last minute. We were sitting at dinner the Sunday night after Riyadh. And my friend said, hey, what if we go to Lake and Heath tomorrow? We were going to go to Stonehenge just on the way back to London. He said, what if we go to Lake and Heath? So we did it. We jumped in the car and drove over to Lake and Heath on a whim and caught
Nice.
35 jets.
Wow. And is it, as everyone says it is, that you could grab a ladder, put it up against the fence, and just kind of like hang out?
They're so welcoming there. They have an area they built for spotters for people to just come watch. They have food carts. They have ice cream trucks. They have one of
Wow.
the food carts will program your radio if you have a scanner. The food
Oh
cart
man.
will program the numbers in for you while you're there. It's very, very welcoming, very, very different than the bases here.
Yeah. Yeah, here, I mean, we've covered it in a few shows. You're lucky if you don't get a police escort to tell you to leave,
Yeah,
if for some of the bases here. And over there, it's literally the same fifth gen, fourth gen aircraft, which you would think it'd be harder to photograph, but super nice.
yeah.
How's the climb up the mountain?
Climb up the mountain was a lot. Very different than Florida here.
Yeah.
I started training in January because I knew, it would be different. But all I had was flatland here. And so I started walking on a treadmill uphill for for 45 minutes at a time, as steep as I could go. And it paid off though because it was needed. The trail we
Yeah.
did was rocky, had streams coming down it. It was way different than Florida for sure. And you have your all your gear, which is your camera gear, your rain gear, everything you need that day you take because you get there in the morning and stay until 5 or 6 in the evening. So you have to carry it all up with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. Like, how long were you gonna hang out up there? Were you gonna hang out up there until you caught everything you could, or
We stayed until
um,
5:30 that evening.
yeah,
That was our
right?
plan
Wow.
because there's no schedule. Those are just the times they fly. You
Yeah,
start out at 7 in the morning, 7:30, and you stay until the end of the day if you're dedicated.
yeah.
But it ended up being
How
a
many
good day. We
passes?
caught we caught three typhoons, four F-35s, two T-6s, and a helicopter that day.
Nice. Oh man, that's gonna be so cool to see. Looking forward to this. Was there like a high humidity? I think I've seen some videos on YouTube of like the vapor trails coming off and
That day there wasn't. It was kind of cold that day. The sun was in and out the clouds. The next couple of days were completely fogged and clouded out. We couldn't even climb.
Hmm.
you're in the clouds when you're in the parking lot there. It's
Wow.
pretty crazy to step out of the car and be in a cloud.
Yeah, I can imagine that'd be pretty challenging hike to be, and probably unsafe to be hiking up a mountain in the clouds.
Yeah, you can't see 10 feet in front of you.
Wow. Yeah, and then I just recently saw and Jacob Ware he went the following week after
Yeah,
you had gone. So I guess
yeah,
you
he
got
was.
the idea in his head and he's like, I gotta go over there. Yeah.
I don't know if he had it planned for a while or, yeah, he was, I think he was there last week or the week before. He
Yeah.
wasn't, not long after me. He got to do more
Yeah.
trails. The weather cooperated a little more with him, but it's part of it. I think that's aviation in a nutshell. Some days you
Yeah, for
get
sure.
something, some days it rains, some days I, who knows? Nothing flies. A shot in the dark anytime you go out for aviation.
And did you go to the Riyadh show for the whole week or
No,
how is that show compared to let's say like Oshkosh here
I
or
haven't been to
some
Oshkosh, so I can't really compare it. But you can get the arrivals on Wednesday and Thursday, or maybe just Thursday. Friday's a practice show day. Saturday and Sunday are the show, and Monday is all the departures. But with doing mock
okay.
loop, I had to split my time. So I did a little bit on Friday from a campground called Totterdam, and the Saturday and Sunday were in the show, in the show area. And then Monday we decided to go to Lake and Heath instead of departures.
Yeah, I mean you've caught pretty much everything for that show.
The
Is
statics, you
there
miss out on the
anything?
statics, but
Yeah.
with the largest static line ever, it's like more than a mile you walk just of statics.
Wow.
But
Do
the
you
rain,
remember any like you said there's raining? It was raining there too?
yeah, I didn't walk all the statics because when we got there, it came a downpour on Saturday, completely head to toe soaking rain, even with rain gear on. It was so I went into one of the shelters and stayed in there, and the rain quit right when the show started. I didn't get to walk all the statics. I went to a few.
Okay. Now you shared some photos to the channel. And we shared that, I shared that on my stories. And was there anything that really kind of grabbed your attention over all of the other aircraft that were there?
At Riyadh. Um,
Like, what's
I
your
love
favorite? Yeah, give me your favorites. Top three.
sheesh, just my brain went completely blank. The Polish F-16 with the tiger stripes. That was really cool. I like that
That
paint
was really
scheme.
cool.
Um, the Danish F-16, the red and white with the anniversary on the bottom. That was the last time it was ever going to fly in Europe because they were sending it to, I think they said Argentina or somewhere.
Oh, wow.
But it was really cool. The red and white, the minute that we got some blue sky, because most of the sky was gray, but when that blue sky, that red just popped and the
Oh,
vapor with it and stuff was awesome. And then the typhoons, but Saturday, the Spanish typhoon just killed it. Just,
oh.
yeah,
I mean, those are, we rarely see a typhoon come in here. I think, and when I say in here, I say like the United States. We'll see it maybe at um, Red
red
Flag.
flag. hmm I had seen
Uh,
one there this year.
yeah. Or, some random base visit. They'll come do an exercise. Or they'll stop over on a transit, and they'll
Yeah,
stop at a base. I know Dallas, Fort Worth, there's a base out there, and they get a lot of stopover traffic from over the pond, East Coast to West Coast. But yeah, typhoons are pretty cool to get. You sent a lot of photos, and what's his name? Jeremy
breaks
breaks
off
off
media.
media.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent a lot of great photos too. I think he's been out there to get photos. So not many people joined in, but we're gonna keep that momentum going in the future. Anyone that comes on, whatever aircraft they want to talk about, we're gonna keep on asking people to send their photos. Keep it interactive with everyone. I know everyone likes the A10s and the Raptors and all those jets that we see here, but seeing some European jets. The Raphaels are pretty cool. Mirages are awesome. I didn't really post the Draken Mirage that I captured the other day, but I didn't want to have to repost all that stuff. So seeing those cool things. So I know if everyone else is out there and they want to share any of those European aircraft, even if it is a European F-35, even though it's made in the United States, but it's flown by Lake and Heath, go right ahead and I'll share that to the channel also. How did you get started with photography?
So I moved to Florida almost 6 years ago, and I was always out on a kayak or at the beach taking pictures with my cell phone and just posting them in little local groups and things. People started saying, "Hey, you really should get a camera. You should get a camera." And no, I don't think I could use a DSLR. I don't, I don't know if I could do it or not. And then finally I said, okay, I'm gonna go on Amazon. I'm gonna find a camera. I'm gonna give it a try and see what happens. 2000 March 2021, I made that purchase and I just fell in love with it. Just immediately fell in love from the first shot. And every day that I could be out taking photos, I was. Anything I could, try different birds. 2 weeks later, the Blues came home from winter practice in California. I went to practice and shot that, and that really is how it started aviation. Just going to those practices, and
Awesome.
then the shows here, the homecoming show and the show on the beach, getting to see different planes. And then January of last year, I went out to El Centro to catch the Thunderbirds and the Blues practicing, and just realized I love traveling as much as I did planes. And the more I traveled, the more planes I could find, and it just kind of spiraled from there.
Yeah, I see that. I just landed on. I'm on your Instagram page right now. I'm looking at your shots. I just saw the El Centro video of them kind of going over, dusting it up.
Yeah,
Awesome. I see that you went out to Vegas. You did some really awesome night photos
it was so cold that
with
night.
that globe.
Yeah.
It's always cold in the desert. It's incredible. I went out there for Red Flag a few years ago, probably like 22, 23, I think. We were like, okay, I'm gonna stay till night. Everyone else has gone home, and I'm out there in the dark trying to make sure I don't step on a rattlesnake, waiting for these jets to depart. And I'm thinking, man, it is too cold out here. I didn't quite
It
make it. It was
was
too windy.
32
I didn't.
degrees.
Yeah,
I think when we were out
that
there
sounds
that
about
night
right.
trying to take a photo with shaky
Yep.
hands, and even with the tripod, your hands were still shaking the camera.
Yeah, I was out there. I did like a red eye on a Monday, arrived at like 2 o'clock in the morning, drove out to Death Valley to get pictures of the stars or whatever. Realized it was a full moon, couldn't see anything. Got snow-capped mountains, and then got freaked out over something, some noise or whatever. Drove to like the visitor center in the car at 3 o'clock in the morning, and just slept there until 5 o'clock when I got up. Went to go check out the dunes, did sunrise at the dunes, and then drove back to Vegas. So it was like I was up for, I don't know, 30 something hours driving forever, taking a nap for an hour and be like, okay, I could keep on going. But it was 32 something degrees. It was like 28 degrees in Death Valley.
It's a
And I'm like,
different
what is
cold
this? Is a
too.
desert.
Different
Bitter,
kind of
bitter
cold than
cold.
here, where you have some
Right.
humidity. It's dry, and it makes all the difference in the world. It
Oh
it
yeah,
was cold, even with layers of
definitely.
clothing on.
Yeah, I don't think I wore all my clothes there. I was flying out the next day in the evening, so I was like, I'm just gonna be there for a day, pretty much catch as much as I can and then fly back. I think I did stay over one night and then I flew back the next day, but yeah, it was wild. I see you went to San Francisco. That's Fleet Week with the Blues.
Yeah, that was last year. It's a really good show as well. Lots of vapor for that one. So many different places you can shoot from. We shot from Alcatraz and different places on land to get different perspectives. So many places to choose from though out there.
Do they allow you to take the ferry out to Alcatraz during the
Mhm.
show, or like you have to go early?
The ferry runs all day, as far as I know.
Okay.
Actually, the boats out there, if you're on a boat, you can be pretty close to center, but you have to keep moving, is what someone told me that. You can't, use a trolling motor and spot lock or anchor. You have to be moving. But
Hmm.
the ferry runs back and forth. We took the early one so we could get, the spot we wanted to shoot from up top. I'm going back there again this year. That's how much I liked it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I see that vapor cone. Holy cow. Damn, even on an F-22. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Did
the
you
F-22.
are all these photos on the same camera you started off with?
No, I started with the Nikon D5600, and then almost a year into it, I upgraded to a D850, and now I use the Z8.
Wow. Okay. Sticking with Nikon. We had talked about that a little bit. Um, I think you had a lens that had an error on it, and I had a cropped lens, and you used that.
Yes,
You
I still
figured
had
out that
had a D850 in Miami, yeah, and had a lens break. Never happened before. It broke halfway through the first day, and you saved me the second day by letting me borrow a lens
yeah, I
for a wide. I
mean,
had my zoom lens, but for a wide, I needed.
yeah.
It was
Yeah, I don't
not a
normally
fun day to try to figure it out and calling all the rental places and no, we don't have anything in stock, and you saved me.
yeah, I appreciate you giving me the shout out on that one. If you're traveling in Miami, if you can't find anything, and if I have something available, if someone needs it, just don't take it home because then it's harder to get back. But you didn't take it home; you gave it back that same day, and I
Yeah,
was I was more than happy to share. With that lens, I wasn't gonna use it all day. I don't do wide angles at the beach. Now I kind of feel like I needed to after that Freedom flyover. I was getting like
yeah.
half of the birds on this side and then the other half on the triangle. I'm like, oh my god, I should have got a wide angle.
That
But
was so hard to shoot. The lighting was terrible. It was
yeah,
straight up. The sun was straight above them, so spread out to use the zoom. They had to be so far away, and then for the wide angle,
it's
they were so tiny. But
it's
it was
definitely
amazing to see.
it was amazing. It's the first time I've ever seen a flyover like that. Um, the flyovers for they've had the trifecta come in the B1, the B2, the B52.
Hmm.
And in the previous years, they were really separated. So instead of this one being
Yeah,
a triangle like that, and you can see the jets, it was the B2 here, the B52 way over here, and the B1. And I was like, why is it so spread out? Like, get those aircraft closer together.
yeah. I was
And
there
this year,
last
they
year. The same
finally.
thing. I was like, the picture I
Yeah,
have, you can see just a tiny plane in each corner because it
yeah, it
was
was,
so
it was,
far spread out. They were much closer
it's,
this year. Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a lot better this year. Um, Media was actually a lot better this year also. We had kind of more opportunities to see the aircraft. Media was kind of like 50-50. So you had more opportunities to see the aircraft that were at the air station, but all the jets went down to
Yeah.
Homestead.
Yeah.
So kind of a bummer on that one.
Yeah.
Normally, and I think a lot of that was because they were still doing construction at the Opelika Executive, and who knows? It could have been something about the noise. It could have been a multitude of things. But I think if they weren't doing construction at the airport, we still would have been able to see, something. At least the F-15s come in, or the F-22. I get it. I get that. That might be a special. But it's still good. Is there anything in the aviation as a general? Are you into the military jets more than the warbirds or GA? Like all you have here is
Yeah.
military
Military.
demos.
Just, yeah. It's more
Yeah,
my thing. I'll shoot it all at an air show, but yeah, the military jets are my favorite. That's why Mock Loop and Blake and Heath were awesome to
we're on
go
the
to.
list. I see that, and we talked about it a little bit. You sell photos professionally.
I
You
do.
have like a little, I don't know if it's a shop, but a little tent at fairs and beach shows. How did you get started um doing that kind of thing?
Everything happened pretty quick for me. I started taking the photos in March 2021, and then February 22, I did my first art show in downtown Pensacola, Gallery Night it's called, and just continued building from there. Started doing other local shows and pop-up shows, and then the local peer gift shop started selling my photos, started doing all their postcards. It just kind of snowballed
in a good way.
in a good way. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It blows my mind every day to know that this is what I get to do for for work. I don't even call it work. It's hard when people ask me that when I meet them out randomly. What do you do for work? Well,
I'm a
it's kind of work,
photographer.
but I enjoy it, so it's not
Yeah.
really work.
I think a great thing about the Panhandle, it's very like military friendly. So, you can sell the Blue Angels coming in over the pier. Like down in Miami, I've tried to do a little bit of that, and they're like, no, we want wildlife, we want, cityscapes, we want
Hmm.
night shots. Not even like at long exposures work down here. It's kind of tough, but it's great that in your area you could blend the beauty of the Gulf Coast along with the wildlife that you have up there and jets. I wish we could
Yeah,
have jets. Do more jet shows down here. That's awesome. And
yeah. I sell a
how's
mixture up here
yeah,
of the
and
wildlife, the beach,
you have
and
like
the
a
jet.
calendar of shows that you have planned for the year, and you go ahead and attend all of those, or
Sometimes, but others I'd book randomly. I just booked Columbus for this week, last week.
okay,
Decided I wanted to do something this month, so looked at the schedule and Columbus had the best lineup in my opinion, and so I booked that last week to go this week. So I'll be heading there Thursday.
okay. Well, that's for air shows, but I'm saying like your art
Oh,
shows.
for the art show, I'm sorry. Misunderstood you
No,
there.
I should have
Art shows,
specified.
I have certain ones booked through the year, and then others you hear about randomly, or one just came up to do for the 100th anniversary of Navarre, where I live. So that one will be next month. Just
Cool.
just came up. A lot of them, the ones I do by the pier, they're twice a month. The schedule comes out, and I choose the ones I want to do that don't interfere with air shows. And gallery night
Yeah.
is once a month. It's always the third Friday. So yes and
Okay.
no. Some I know, and some you find out about as the year goes on.
Is there other photographers at gallery night that also have aviation photos?
There's usually one other at least, sometimes a couple. Yeah. Blues are huge here.
Yeah.
But we're all very different. You can be standing beside each other and take a different photo,
Yeah,
especially the way you edit.
yeah, for sure. I see a lot of underwater photos.
Yeah.
Those turtles are amazing. The water's like crystal blue, and then you have these little, I guess these are like a look down or a jack in a teal, that more of a greenish teal color. Um,
I don't know. I'd have to see the picture to know what else.
yeah, I don't know. It's like a little bait fish or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you have a housing for the Z8?
I have a housing for the 850.
Oh, the 850. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're still doing kind of like crop scent or not, that's a full frame also, but
Yeah, it's full
you're still
frame.
using and the SLR for everyday underwater photos.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
upgraded the housing yet.
Have you experienced any like difficulties capturing underwater?
It's
Uh
that is an entire different world of photography. It is
yeah.
completely different than anything else I have done. It I don't even know where the lighting is different. The deeper you go, the more red you lose, I think. So you have to add red back to when you
Mhm.
edit, you have to actually put red into your photo. It's very different. The lighting I don't have the flash bulbs and all that. I just have the camera and the housing, so I don't go too deep. I mostly snorkel. Um, but it's a different world too. You feel like you're in a completely different universe with everything you can see under there. But it's very peaceful.
Yeah.
Um, it's just a whole different world than shooting anything else.
Are you hanging out underneath the pier, or are you kind of like just kind of
So
skirting the edge there?
here that we have some man-made reefs that they've put in the
Okay.
water, and I go out to those. The pier, you're not allowed to go around it. You're not allowed to snorkel or dive around the piers. You have to be so
And
far away.
is it because they fish off the pier also?
Yeah, the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, fishermen do not like people near the pier. But that's also where the sharks hang out, so I don't care.
Yeah. Have you done any surf photos up there?
um, Occasionally there's some surfers out when there's a storm
When they
coming in or something. Yeah.
have you been out there like taking water photos when they're out there, or you kind of like just hang
No,
out?
not in the water because they stay close to the pier,
Oh, gotcha.
closer to the pier.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people do it. I just haven't tried it. I'd probably get run over by one of them or something.
Yeah.
Not move fast enough.
Yeah, it does happen. I did surf photography for about 15 years, and I had a lot of friends that had water housings, and they'd be out there. One guy had a helmet, and he'd be out there treading water for like half the day. And when he saw it coming to him, he was like, "Okay, just gonna come down low and duck underneath that board and not get finned or something." And it's kind of like a hazard of the job, but the shots you get from of capturing a surfer from the water itself is just
Yeah, that's a different perspective for sure.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know the surf up there in Pensacola. I don't know how the break is. It's probably just the beach break-ins
Yeah, it's not
shallow
very often they
until
even get the
a few
chance to
hundred
go
feet.
out. It's
Yeah.
yeah, the water's usually pretty calm here. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of surfers here, but it's rare when they can be out there. The waves.
So your main focus is, for the most part, wildlife and aviation.
Hmm. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. I dabble in the other
Cool.
stuff just to see if I can.
So we're talking about aviation with Heather, and we kind of touched base a little bit on Riat and Lake and Heath. How do you stay kind of creative with aviation photos? You have a wide selection here. I've been seeing a lot of messages in the last few days how people are editing differently with lighting or with shadows. Is there any type of technique that you like to use more than just a basic edit?
I I've always said since the beginning, I try to edit to look how it looked at the time that it happened to me. So however the lighting was that day, the colors of the sky, I try to edit to look how I saw it then. I like color, I like bright. You don't always get that, but that's my preference when I can. To stay creative, I just look for different angles, different spots to shoot from, try to move around. Even at the same air show, try to find different places to shoot from each day if possible, um, to capture a different angle or a different side of the aircraft, or the afterburner going this way instead of that way, or whatever you can do to change it up.
Yeah. All right. Um, let's see. When you've kind of strictly used digital, have you done any other photography in the past? Have you done any film, or have you done um kind of just stuck with either the phone or a SLR?
The phone SLR, the digital, yeah. I mean, way back when I was young, forever ago, I had the little 110 cameras and things like that, but not quite the same where you choose the settings and
Yeah.
lighting and all that.
Let's talk a little bit about your experience over in Miami. You got to be in MH-60 with the Army Reserves.
I
How was
did.
that? How was that experience?
That was amazing. That was the highlight of I don't know how many years of my life. It was an amazing experience. It was had a little nerves at first, you saw.
Yeah,
um, but once we took off, there's no way to describe it. Just the feeling of taking straight up into the air and off you go. Then we were out over the water. The views were amazing. Um, Trying to shoot from there was a little tricky. There was I had to give myself a talk to be okay that the rotors would not be blurred because the amount of wind coming through the doors, from just the wind and the rotor wash was uh hard to explain. The camera just was
yeah,
trying to do this, and there was no slow shutter when you were up there, but I would do it again right now. I would jump in the car and drive somewhere if they said, "Hey, we need a shooter in a helicopter." I'd be gone. It was that amazing.
Yes, it's I got your photos and Giancarlo, he was the other
Hmm.
media ride, I guess. And it was kind of bittersweet. I really wanted to be in the helicopter and get photos also, but I was really happy that, both of
Yeah,
you were able to do that. And I did get some cool shots of you guys, so I was happy to share that with you.
I
Is
appreciate
there
you doing that because I looked for people that I know who were on the beach. Did you get helicopter pictures that day? No? Come on, somebody has to have one somewhere from the beach. But
Yeah,
it was, yeah, the water was amazing that day. The sky was perfect. There was one point I was doing a video and I was like, looked over and said, the buildings look a little strange. And I turned the other way and we were completely sideways. I was
wow.
looking out the other door at water. It was
Yeah.
you couldn't feel it though. You couldn't feel that you were laying
Kind of
completely
banked.
sideways. It's
Yeah, it was a really incredible it was an incredible show. I mean, I got the opportunity to go with the Red Devils the next day, and while I kind of missed out on the whole show, it was still great to be able to see those guys again. I caught them during winter training here in a Homestead, like back during COVID, so it was cool to see the same kind of
Mhm.
group of people, to kind of have that relationship still ongoing. Get some photos out of a Spartan, which you sent that photo from a Spartan inverted at Riyadh, and I was like, I could not imagine what it would feel like to go inverted in a Spartan.
They were doing
That
loops. They were doing barrel rolls in that thing. It just amazing to see something that size
yeah,
doing this in the sky, flipping and rolling and
yeah,
amazing to
yeah.
see.
I can only imagine what that feels like. Because my ride in the Spartan, it was probably like 110 degrees inside that thing. It was super
Yeah, you
hot.
said it was really hot.
Yeah. But the photos from it, to see Miami from above,
Yeah,
really, I don't, I can't explain it,
yeah.
to see Miami, to see how close the airport is to downtown and how big it is, it just doesn't seem real. And just to be having that open air and
Hmm.
just feeling it is just like, oh man, this is, I don't want to be in a tuna can A380 or A320 flying anywhere.
Yeah,
Just open the doors. I want to
open the
fly
doors.
with the doors open. Yeah,
Yeah.
going. I'll just have to
Some
ask American Airlines to open the doors for me. I don't want to smell the inside of an airplane.
some of the crew from the helicopter, one said, "You were in the right seat, the right side." I said, "Yeah." He says, "We call that the hurricane seat."
Because
But
it's
I
so
can see
windy.
why, because the wind was
Yeah.
my hair. I didn't think to put my hair up, and when we got back, I took the clip out, and it just stayed.
Wow.
It just stayed right there from the wind.
Yeah, that's definitely a challenge to try to get, air to air photos, air to ground photos from a helicopter. I would have never thought there'd be that much turbulence within the cabin.
Yeah,
But I could understand why now, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I had to tell myself, you can't blur these props. You're just gonna have to give it up and get the shots with them frozen or not. But those are some of my favorite shots I've ever taken. Those with the Blackhawks and the blue water and the sky and the buildings and
Yeah,
just
Miami,
amazing.
that's
Yeah,
like the best of Miami right there.
yeah.
Is there any other, rides in your future?
I hope so. I don't have any plan, but I'm always
You're
always
ready
ready
to
and
go.
willing to do
Yeah.
it.
Now, do you apply as media for all the shows you go to?
Pretty much.
Okay.
There's a
And
few I haven't, but most of the time I try to.
yeah. All right, that's cool.
Gives a
Are
little
you
advantage.
are
And
you
not every show is the same. Some give you, what you get from one, it doesn't mean you're gonna get the same from the other.
yeah. And are you submitting your images to any magazines or publications taken at the shows or
I haven't submitted any, but I have had a local magazine last year reach out wanting some Blue Angel pictures, and
Okay,
and
cool.
published in there. Reaching out, I haven't, but I've had, a couple reach out to me.
Oh, that's cool. That's great. I see a few people have, I mean, Jacob just joined a few minutes ago. He's had some cover shots and some spreads in magazines, and it's great to have
Yeah.
that outreach. Um, is there any show that you have yet to go to in the States here that you're looking at possibly doing in the future?
Quite a few. I say all the time, too many air shows and not enough time because there's so many I'd like to go to. Oceana's on my list. I want to get to that one. What is another one? I haven't been to Columbus, so I'm doing that one this week.
Yeah.
So I look at more of the schedule to see who's flying, what makes a difference. Hawaii, I wanted to do that this year, and I have to wait 2 years now.
Do you find it difficult to apply for media at an airbase rather than a private air show?
No, I think it's easier at the air bases, honestly. The private air shows a lot of times only accept local news stations
Oh, okay.
and that type that I've ran into.
Hmm.
But it varies it's show to show. Miami doesn't have that. Miami is an amazing show. It's all
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Miami is definitely well weighted for I believe the original creator of the Hyundai Air and Sea show for Miami was also the Fort Lauderdale Air Show before Air Dot Show got involved. I'm not sure if that is 100% correct, but I forget his name, Mickey. I can't remember his last name, but he was like back in 2004, 2005. The Fort Lauderdale Air and Sea Show was one of those shows where it topped all Florida shows.
You
Had
were
and I
telling me that down in Miami, you and
Yeah,
Giancarlo.
and when we had Crispy on. Crispy took a shot when he
Hmm.
was on the past episode. We are talking about film photography. I had probably a weekend of taking digital photos with like a Nikon D70 at the time and a film camera, and it was everything from the Marines beaching on the with their hovercraft or like a tank or something, amphib tank coming on, or you had the uh, B1 F-117 coming over. How did we even get be able to
Yeah,
see such a variety of aircraft, right? F-14s, we had Kermit Weeks. He has an air museum in Lakeland. He flew. I got pictures of one of these weird like biplanes that he flew over the beach. I mean, the variety of aircraft back then were incredible. I mean, now the variety is fifth gen. We got F-35, every variant, the
hmm,
AB, the C variant. Um, we have F-18s now more often than before. But at the same time, the type of aircraft, the variety of aircraft have decreased. We have maybe 4 or 5 active aircraft,
yeah,
a variety of fighter wings still, but our quantity of aircraft is kind of limited. Still better to see like a. I like it when they fly those B1s like they stole it.
yeah,
Fly it like a fighter jet. It's incredible to see if you go to like a show on an airbase and you see a B1 up close and you're like, this thing is massive. And then you
yeah.
see
They're
it fly
big.
over, you're like, okay, these guys, this thing could have really handled it. Do you have like a favorite aircraft so far that you've seen?
Favorite that I've. Mm, so hard to choose. They all do something different and have a different, things about them. I like to photograph the F-22. It's my favorite to shoot. Don't know why those double afterburners and it's usually tearing up the sky.
It's definitely the photogenic aircraft of the
Yeah,
bunch. The Yeah, I remember seeing that in 2005 at Fort Lauderdale and just having it go, full vertical and then just stay stationary. And you're like,
yeah,
dude, what is going on
and
here?
then move
How is this
sideways.
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was incredible then. It's still incredible now. Just seeing the thrust vectoring, and now you understand it a little bit more. Back then, you're like, this is fake. This is like alien spacecraft.
Alien
It doesn't
spacecraft.
exist. Yeah, now it's like, oh man, engineering. I spoke to those engineers. I know who
Yeah.
has made those engine parts for aircraft like that. It's really
I'm
incredible
partial
now.
to the hometown team too, the Blues, those are
Yeah,
mine.
I mean, I'm kind of partial to the Blues as well. I kind of grew up watching, going to the air show, the Blues air shows. I lived out in California when I was a kid, and the air show that I had gone to out there was at MCAS El Toro, before it was turned into a park or something. Marine Corps Air Station El Toro in Orange County, California, and seeing the Blues fly over, like, I don't know, I was like 5 years old. It's very kind of blurry, the memory there, but it was amazing. Something you'll
Yeah,
never forget, you know? Everyone's like, oh yeah, the Thunderbirds, the Thunderbirds. I'd like the Thunderbirds, cool, but I don't feel the Thunderbirds like I feel the Blue Angels.
yeah.
Uh, Now I'm sure the people in Chicago this past weekend can
They
say
felt
different.
the
They felt that
yeah,
which who knows that I've never seen an F8 F-16 kind of blow out windows for an air show. Just like this past year at the Hyundai Air and Sea Show, we had our Makos have that amazing cone on a
yeah,
Saturday. Never that I've seen the Makos fly ever have I ever seen a cone like that. That was pretty incredible. I missed out on Saturday's show, but seeing those photos were pretty amazing. Um, yeah, I don't know. I have a bunch of favorites. I like them all.
yeah. That's the thing. I
Um,
like them all
yeah, I
for different
recently
reasons.
I went to Sun and Fun this year, and I kind of fell in love with GA photos, or GA aircraft, mainly in um the STOL flights and the seaplanes. I really fell in love with that, and the classic like warbirds converted into like a civilian, um private airplane. I was like, oh, so there is a chance I can get myself a T6 and fly it myself. Awesome.
Fun's on my list for next year. That's one of the shows I haven't been to, but I want to.
Yeah,
I
I
went
don't
to
have a lot
Nellis
of.
this year, which is the same weekend.
Which one?
I went to Nellis Air Show this year, which was same
Okay.
weekend as Sun and Fun. This year, tour and homecoming here are the same weekend. Sometimes you have to decide which one, even though you want to go to both.
I mean, Stewart is one of the best air shows at the end of the year. But it's hard when you have. I mean, I remember I did a homecoming for the Pensacola Blues homecoming back in 2013, and it was just the Blues for the most part. Like not many other
Hmm.
um air acts. Now I think this year you have the F-22 going to Pensacola. Um, the Viper demo team, I don't know where they're going to. Let me
I
see.
don't
Stewart.
think they're, yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's Stewart. Okay. Aerobatic performers. New for 2025. They have the A10. That was last year. So Stewart is showing Northern Stars Aero Team. It looks like they're flying, I don't know what kind of aircraft that is. RJ Gritter, Titan Aerobatic Team, the Mini Jet Air Show with Tom Larkin, Ghost Rider Air Shows with Nathan Hammond, Duncan, which that beach in like 1900, I think, or beach, Twin Beach, not in 1900. That thing is pretty incredible. It's like the flying circus. He
Hmm.
does all these loops in this
Yeah,
Twin Beach. He'll fly it all like wonky, coming down and going up, and it's just incredible to
yeah, I've
watch that
caught him
thing.
before.
We got Smoke and Thunder jet truck, some drones, and the night show. The F-35A Lightning demo will be there. The VFA 122 Flying Eagles have also been secured. So that's it for now. We'll see what happens. Pensacola, you got F-22s, you got F-18s, you got some loud noisemakers over there. That's gonna be a tough one. If I had to choose, I'd try to do both, but that's like a 12-hour drive
Yeah.
one way, so that'd be tough.
I'll be here for, home base.
Raptor Photography says Stewart is the correct decision. We'll see. We'll compare notes. We'll compare. You could take Heather's gonna be in Pensacola capturing the blues, and you and I, Raptor, will be hanging out in Stewart.
We'll
All
send
right.
photos back and forth all day.
For sure. Um
Look what I got on the
unfortunate
back of my camera.
Yeah, there's some things happening in October and September, I believe. Um, I think there's some type of exercise in September. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do that. Uh, where is that going to be at? I can't think of it at the top of my head right now. Then
It
October,
was Tell, but it got canceled.
William Tell, it
Mhm.
did.
Mhm.
I guess it's been canceled for me then. It
Unless
does sound
they've
familiar.
changed, they said it would be changed, but no date had been decided on, I think.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. I guess I should have looked. Was that directly from their page?
I'm not sure. I had some friends that were planning to go to it and we're talking about it.
All right. So I guess that's not happening anymore now. So it looks like maybe take a field trip to a museum in Georgia or something in October. Something different. Um, and we'll play it by ear. But
Yeah.
yeah, planes. We need jets.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll catch some
At
jets
least
this year.
monthly. You have to have some jets in your life monthly somewhere,
Yeah. I work at
somehow.
a I work at a GA airport, so I see like Falcons and stuff, citations. Those are the kind of jets I see. They don't feel like an F-18 kind of shaking your chest, but um, it's a nice little sub show. But yeah.
Get you through to
Anyhow,
the next military jet.
yeah, it's we'll see. Um, Anyhow, I want to thank you for coming on today. Sorry that we had some disconnection issues, some connectivity
Okay.
issues.
Technology.
Yeah, it's a bummer sometimes.
Thanks for having
Um,
me.
um, I'm glad we were able to answer everyone's questions, and I'm happy that you're able to share some of those photos into the channel. I really appreciate that, and we'll figure out when's the next show and where we can get some photos again.
I leave Thursday, so hopefully next week,
I'm
new
not going
photos.
to I'm not going to Ohio.
Nope.
All right, Heather, thanks for coming on. Thank you, everyone, for joining
Thanks,
tonight's episode
everyone.
for the Spotters Podcast, and we'll see you in about 2 weeks for another episode. Bye. Thank you.